Well, you started with the analogy of the seven blind men. I was the blindest of
Of
them
course.
all. I had um, I had absolutely no idea what was happening until smoke motored back into the area and Dougie radioed me and said, "Well, we're retiring." And I said, "Everything okay?" He said, "Yeah, but we figured after the man overboard and the rescue that we'd just bag it." And I said, "The what?"
Hmm.
So I didn't know anything. So my biggest takeaway from the side of race management is that we need to have two house radios on YC5 and have one that we leave on 16. I mean, it's still possible that we would have missed it, but generally speaking, I leave the house radio on the competitor race channel and I'm listening to that. And then I have my handheld normally scanning um, through that channel and 16 and 14, but I was totally unaware of it. So that was the worst part for me when I heard all about it. Um, I was incredibly happy that I had flown the Yankee flag and invoked that rule. That's something that I'm doing more and more. I'm kind of making it a personal rule if it's blowing over 12 to fly the Yankee flag. Um, I've kind of pushed a little bit, wanting the yacht clubs in the Sound to do as the yacht clubs down in San Francisco Bay have done and just make 42 apply always. And I continue to get pushback about that.
Okay.
Um, so those are my biggest takeaways from the whole event. I mean, Steve Johnson called me, I think the Tuesday after the event, after the Seattle Times had run its article talking about how he had called the author of the Seattle Times article, which had some kind of line about, miracle rescue at sea or something like that. And Steve's whole point was, no, we know this is a dangerous sport, and this is what we practice for. And although they were in the water quite a while, it was the appropriate outcome, and people did what needed to be done. And on the public PR side of things, I thought that that was a very good observation, and it's true. But other than that, I really don't have anything to add to the whole event.
Right. I think people who read about it don't realize how far the race committee boat was away from where things happened. So
Yeah,
even if
I
you
mean,
had known about
my handheld wouldn't even reach that distance. The house radio may or may not have, depending on what radios the other boats were using.
did anybody I know that the initial Mayday went out on 16, and thank goodness it did because that's what went to the ferry. Did
Yeah.
anybody do a Mayday relay over to the race channel?
Um, Not that I'm aware of, and if they did, I never heard it.
Yeah, the people I've talked to, none of them mentioned that. So,
And I
I
can't I can't blame them. I mean, everybody's hands were full with what was happening at the time. I wouldn't have
mhm,
expected somebody to do that.
mhm.
Um, so I don't fault anybody for that at all. Yeah, no, it's just God, it's just amazing. I watched the video when some people sent me the links to it Saturday night, and I was just fascinated, and it was all okay. And then I sat down at my desk on Monday morning and watched the video again on my full screen and just broke down sobbing
Mhm.
because we were so close.
We were.
Um, yeah,
So many lessons learned. Thank you.
indeed. You're welcome. I hope that this all helps everybody in our sport and makes it that much less likely someone else needs to deal with this.